they would look unto the Lord, from whence cometh their help. Now listen. He said, let Israel hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous of redemption. Now listen, friends. We see in Matthew chapter 1 and in verse 21, and it was talking about this child Jesus that was to be born of a virgin, and he shall bring forth, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. My friend, over 2,000 years ago, and 1,000 and some years to where I've read you out of the book of Psalms, my friend, it came true. My friend, Israel hope. My friend, there had been a promise made to Abraham. There had been a promise made to Isaac. There had been a promise made unto Jacob. And God had made the promise that he would raise the scepter up to Jacob. My friend, a prince would come forth, and that one was named Jesus. And he would save his people from their sins. And bless God, after 2,000 years, after 3,000 years, after 4,000 years, after 6,000 years of those promises made, and everywhere in between, he came and to save people, and he's still doing it today. He's still saving mothers, sons, and daughters. He's still saving grandchildren for grandparents. He's still the one that's delivering those ones, my friends, that are stricken by the demon, my friend, of drugs and alcohol and all manner of vices. He's still delivering them. And my friend, listen, he came, the Bible said he came unto his own, but his own received him not. But as many as received him, he gave them power to become the sons of God. Amen. And I'm glad he did. He gave them power. Now listen, my friend, listen, there's a lot that thinks that Israel will not be saved. But listen, according to Paul in the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 25, he said, for I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of the mystery, unless you should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come. And so all Israel shall be saved, as is written, there shall come out of Zion a deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant to them, when I shall take away their sins. There's coming a time that this man named Jesus is coming back. Amen. He already died for my sins. He already washed me clean and forgive me, and he will anybody that will come unto him. Listen, everybody are talking about having a lot of faith. Now listen, grandma would tell you, that old sainted grandma, that old sainted mother, that old sainted grandpa, that old my friend sainted father would tell you, honey, it don't take a dump truck load of faith to get God to hear. It don't take a wheelbarrow load to get God to hear. He said, if you had the faith of a grain of mustard seed, he said, you to say to yon mountain, be thou plucked up and removed, it would be unto thee. Now listen, honey, everybody is wanting to have great faith. Give me mustard grain faith. That's all that's required. Amen. And I tell you what out there, mommy, because God promised this to Israel, let me tell you, grandma, let me tell you, grandpa, let me tell you, father, that's worried to death over your children. Honey, you keep going to God. You keep seeking God on behalf of your children and your grandchildren. You keep going and not let up. And I tell you what, God will hear from heaven and he will deliver. My friend, you might not be on this earth to see it, but it will happen because God said he'd grant it to you. Amen. Now let me look at something else here before I get ready to close out. I want to look at one other thing here in the book of Psalms. You know the Psalms has got a lot in it. I love reading the book of Psalms. I read I don't know how many Psalms today. But I tell you what, God is still able to hear. It said the poor man crieth, and the Lord hear him, save him out of all his trouble. The angel of the Lord encamp around about them that fear him and deliver them. It says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Oh, friend, tonight I'm not trusting in none other. A true child of God is not trusting in themselves, because they know if God looks down upon them without, my friend, them being with the righteousness of Jesus Christ clothed